Well, hello everyone who's watching. I'm honored today to be joined by Omar Prudencio Gonzalez, who is our new ASI President for this year. So congratulations, Omar, and as our new President, how has it been so far in this unprecedented time?
Hello, Provost. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to come out and hang out with you for a little bit. But seriously, it's been an interesting journey. I just started my term in about a month ago now. We started transitioning over April and May, so around finals and stuff. But it's for sure been interesting. Obviously, a little hard. I'm an extrovert. I love to be around people. I love to talk to folks, and I love just being around folks. But now, being virtual, connecting with everyone online through Zoom, it's been interesting for sure. Something I'm not really used to. We just had our executive orientation, which was really fun, getting to explore our new roles and connecting with administration to share about some of our executive team goals, but for sure fun. But I can't think of a better time to really work with people, to really bring our campus together, like in times like right now.
Well, great. We're all looking forward to working together. As you say, it's definitely a time to focus on our goals of access and excellence and to try and make those happen in the face of these unprecedented circumstances. So for you as a student, I'm just curious to hear, how was the spring semester for you? How were your classes? How was it to suddenly move from one mode to another?
Yeah, well, it's crazy and, funny you asked that. So this is the first semester that I actually ever took 16 units. I was on average taking about 13, 14, and if I felt a little lucky, but 16 with a lab, and because I needed to finish my physical laboratory aspect for physical science.
Mm-hmm.
It was for sure. I mean, I was struggling a little bit at the beginning, as it is, even with physical science and some of my major harder classes, even physically on campus. But once we went remotely, it was just hard not being able to be in class and really ask the questions that I needed to. I'm a hands-on person, like, what is that? What is this? And obviously, even everyone, including faculty and staff, everyone's adapting to Zoom. So it was for sure an interesting experience. Even for me, I really was struggling with, all right, how do I engage with some of my classmates, without like interrupting the Zoom session? They're like, all right, cool, there's a chat box. So little kinks like that. It took a minute to figure out. But I don't know, a miracle fell out the sky and I got straight A's this semester.
I think it's a miracle in which you had a hand, Omar. So that's great. Congratulations. What is your major, by the way?
I'm majoring in political science with a minor in sociology. Now I'm on senior year.
So, well, I must say the incredible flexibility of the faculty of the university and, of course, the students has been remarkable to watch. And perhaps it has something to do with the passion with which we all approach our education. But it was certainly wonderful to see. Moving from sort of the classes and your experience as a student to your sort of your presidential vision and plans and strategies, in as far as you can have plans and strategies in these times, what are you hoping to do in the next year?
Yeah, well, this year, and I guess I'll talk a little bit about our campaign a little after, but we really wanted to come into this year and focus on fostering, a lot of school spirit, bringing the school campus together. And we're still going to do a lot of that, but right now, our main goal is to help to continue to modernize the Associated Students Incorporated as we face these new challenging times. Things are going to be a lot more virtual. Our programming, a lot of our major events have been canceled due to social distancing and safety guidelines. So right now, we're doing our best and trying to bring clubs and organizations together. We're looking at trying to implement a inter-club and student organization council that brings a lot of the major student organizations on campus together as a recognized organization to help with a lot of our programming and just trying to reach out to students more. Obviously, that's kind of on pause right now, since we physically can't do it. We're going to figure out how we can bring folks remotely. We're also trying to internally review a lot of our ASI policies within the organization. How do we modernize as we move into Beach 2030, as we move into, challenging times that the world may face? So little things, how can we retrain some of our staff for them to have better resources? What are we doing to support our student employees a little better? How are we becoming more green? Little things like that are very important, because we are a nonprofit, we are an auxiliary, and we need to sometimes look within before we go looking without. Other things you really want to work on is to continue to advocate for students and folks from underserved communities, ensuring that we help reduce barriers that may place a difficulty in their pursuit of a higher degree or just in life. Trying to also increase scholarship opportunities for folks from different underserved communities that may have trouble seeking resources. We also want to launch a mental health campaign to start having a conversation around mental health, especially right now when students may feel lonely, may feel a sense of disconnect, and may have difficult challenges at home or wherever they are. We also want to help a little bit on reviewing our advising centers. A lot of students have shared their interest in wanting to provide feedback for, resurfacing some of our advising centers. So we're trying to look at that, and then eventually working with your office to help bring some of that feedback back to you, and different community partners on campus to help provide better services to our students in that area.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that, because one key person who obviously you will be working with is Kerry Johnson, our AVP for undergraduate affairs, who's in charge of our advising centers, and we are always open and happy to hear about ways we can improve and make the experience better for students. So that's terrific to hear. Given the level of social unrest in the country, the Black Lives Matter movement, the anti-racism that is, I think, required from all of us, what are some ways we can do better with your help? And we would love to work together with you and anyone else who wants to join us in trying to push our local part of the world and hopefully the whole country forward.
Right. Well, I think the single most important thing that any of us can do, especially me being, coming from a Latinx background, but not, being a Black student, I will never understand their experience, or I can't necessarily speak for them, so something that I recognize that I need to do better, and that we could all do better as a community and as allies, is be better listeners, active listeners. I think sometimes when we see stuff on social media or we see stuff on the news, we want to immediately jump and be like, all right, how do we fix it? Because we're so passionate in helping, that sometimes you forget to do the most single important thing, which is to listen. Reaching out, like what are you feeling? What kind of help do you need, or can we provide? And let it just be natural. That's something that I, even as a leader, I'm still trying to learn and constantly improve on, is being an active listener and showing empathy. Because sometimes we don't have to be the ones that are the problem solvers all the time. Sometimes you just need to be there to support folks as they want to, they just want to speak and want to vent, and then naturally, then they'll, folks will like, all right, this is kind of what we need, and this is how we could go about it. But overall, I think just addressing, we've heard it all over the news and in different social media outlets, is addressing systemic racism through policy. Ensuring that our policies don't pose a barrier to students, ensuring that, we go that extra mile to really focus internally on what we are doing, even like with our funding, our budget. How can we, support student spaces for Black students to feel that they actually are supported on campus? Is that increasing scholarship opportunities? Is that going out to recruit folks from marginalized communities a little bit more, where we might not necessarily do so? But again, I think most of that feedback will just come back from us listening. and taking a strong stance against systemic racism, and that here at the beach, we don't tolerate it, we never will, and we will always stand in solidarity with folks from the Black community.
Great. Well, that's very powerful. I think I completely agree that listening, active listening is important, and I think empowering action and joining as allies by Black students and others affected by the systemic racism that is very prevalent in the United States is a way forward. It's certainly a difficult and challenging thing, but this is the moment, and we must respond to it.
And if you don't mind, I would love to share a little bit of what ASI is currently doing. Internally, we're looking at some policies to, to engage more support for Black students on campus, at least on the ASI side, trying to create more opportunities, different scholarships. Maybe we help out some of our Black student organizations and clubs with additional programming. That's something that we're doing. Also, we've been using our social media platforms. As you know, ASI social media platforms are huge on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So we've been putting out a lot of resources such as movements and organizations that students could donate to, different books and pieces of literature they could potentially read to become more informed and educated on the issues, podcasts, like I said, fundraisers. So again, just trying to use the little that we have to give information out for folks. So yeah, that's a little bit of what we're doing, and we're going to continue to use that platform to put out more information for students and members of the community.
Well, that's fantastic. Again, perfect opportunity for all of us to work together. And we are not only open to it, but happy to work together with you, sometimes with your leadership, sometimes with ours, sometimes with Black students themselves and the Black community to make the change we need. So that's good to hear. Turning to another topic, I know that we're coming back in the fall. We're all looking forward to it. But when I think of being a student, which is a very long time ago from my point of view, I remember coming back to a physical campus, and I just wonder what you feel as a student about coming back virtually. What do you think we can do to brand new students who are coming to the campus for the first time? How can we help them feel part of our community and welcome?
So it's obviously a little sad, especially if we are returners.
I think you have to acknowledge that, yes.
All looking forward to like week of welcome and, our big events, and our welcome back to school events that we tend to have throughout campus. Obviously everything will be virtual at this point. But something I would really encourage students is to not lose hope. This is still your home. As President Connolly continues to say, we are one beach, whether we're remotely or not. We will continue to be that big Long Beach State family. And, we have to be away for a little bit, and I think something that, we can continue to actively do is, at least on the student organization side, taking that extra mile to, even remotely through social media, reach out to folks, hey, like we have this and this opportunity, this and this kind of club. Because even if we were physically on campus, sometimes students tend to feel like not connected to campus because, it's a huge commuter campus. And especially even now, like that emotion of like not feeling connected at all, the beach is going to be there. But I think that the most that we can do, especially us, me being like a senior now, is really going out of our way to really reach out to incoming folks, and, using platforms like SOAR and to really showcase a lot of our programs and clubs and our social media to really inspire folks. And obviously when we can be back, ensuring that we have a nice week of welcome, hopefully a smorgasbord event, again, when safe and possible, to really students. But I think for the most part right now, we can do is just have hope, and really just engage with one another as best as we can.
Yeah, I think that's very positive and indeed very realistic assessment, Omar. What I always think is that, even though Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach was founded in 1949, it's part of a 2,000-year-old tradition of higher education for younger and people trying to learn. And so in a way, every year that we open is a passing on of this jewel to the next generation, to the next incoming student wave. And in a sense, the fact that we're opening in these circumstances, that we're offering the education we can virtually, as you say, is a testament to our hope and, in fact, our knowledge that we're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to pass on the beach to future generations. And we know that at some point in the future, we're going to be back in person, and hopefully we'll be more connected and more sure of the value of the institution and general of higher education for all of us. So that's kind of my hope and vision. No doubt, I have absolutely no doubt, the world being what it is, that there'll be problems and issues and little hitches. And I think to some extent expecting those is a good thing, not to become downhearted, but to reach out to people who can help, whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's President Conley, whether it's your faculty. And of course, faculty have their own issues. No doubt there'll be technical issues. Zoom is not a perfect platform, as we know very well. And the more patient we can be with each other, the kinder we can be with each other, the better it'll be for everyone. Do you think there's something that we're missing that you can see as a campus community, something I should know about, something the president should know about that we haven't thought of? And I'm sure there is, given that certainly I'm not perfect and no one that I know is, but is there something big that's flashing red in your mind about why aren't they doing that?
Well, I think right now, especially, it's a little, we're all kind of in a tough situation, even just, we're all figuring things out, we're trying our best here. And I think something common that I continue to hear is, why our faculty, not, and again, this is just people in general not understanding that, faculty still have to adapt, but why are faculty not like adjusting to Zoom, or why are they like not delivering instruction in a certain way? But again, it all comes back to us being, cohesive and trying to partner with each other and trying to provide better training.
Do you think it's also a question of empowerment? And I would really encourage students to be empowered. So remember, just like I'm imperfect, faculty are imperfect, and they may be struggling, even though many are doing sensationally well with the virtual reality. It's not the same. It's not what we're trained to do. It really, a respectful question from a student is often invaluable to a faculty member. When I was teaching face-to-face, I would love it when students came to me and said, we're just not getting that part of it. Can you do it again? Or can you do it better? Or can you change this? And I would say, of course, that's my job. And so, don't feel, I would say to everyone, faculty, students, staff, don't feel passive. You're part of us. That's what Jane means when she says we are one beach. And every voice is important, and we can all contribute to making this not perhaps as good as we would like, but better than it could be. So,
well, on that note, I think something that it's probably on your radar, but a lot of students, especially, they really want to see more faculty of color. We're really advocating for that, and even within our leadership and administrative ranks. Trying to bring folks that our students see themselves in a way that are culturally competent to hopefully support and or provide that safe space for them. And I'm sure this is something you've heard, but especially right now in these uncertain times, students really feel that urge and desire to see more people that look like them on campus. And I think that's something that even on our end, as an ASI, we can do best to contribute, provide suggestions, provide guidance in that, especially as we go into this new arena.
Sure, absolutely. You know, Omar, it's something that we've been engaged in uh, for the last 2 years. And again, these are small steps, and we need to take larger steps. I completely agree with you. But every college now has a faculty equity advisor who works with every search committee for a new tenure track faculty hire to make sure that the job ad is neutral, to make sure that it's welcoming to faculty of color. And we've had some success. This last round of new faculty hires has been among the most diverse we've ever managed to hire. And that's just the very, very beginning, because not only do we have to hire people, we have to support them, we have to promote them, we have to make them visible, without culturally taxing the people who come to us. And we know that, we're working with it, and we certainly appreciate student advice and assistance with that. I agree, it applies to the leadership as well of the senior administration, and it's an ongoing thing. But if we commit to it, it can be done. And even though academic time sometimes can be very quick, sometimes it can be very slow, but we're committed to it. So you should pass on the good word. Tell me a little bit about your leadership group, because one of the things we're always impressed with is the quality and the experience of the students who are in the leadership of ASI. And so tell us, what is your secret sauce to make the leadership of the ASI so impressive?
I don't know what the secret sauce is, to be quite frankly. And if there was, I need it. No, we have an amazing vice president and treasurer that were elected. Omar Gonzalez previously served as the chief diversity officer and has been very involved in the community. And so has Adriana Andrade, who served as our AB 540 and undocumented student commissioner. They both have a lot of mobilizing and social justice, community organizing, especially in advocating for folks from undocumented and AB 540 communities. And so their experience has now, allowed them to come serve as VP and treasurer. And, we all share similar goals. The vice president oversees the Senate and is really working diligently to, also modernize Senate and, ensure that the senators that are coming in are well equipped to fulfill their roles. Adriana is working really hard right now to continue to outreach to student organizations to ensure that they still have resources and funding from ASI, and trying to work with them to adapt to our new changes that are going to come in the semester. And again, doing like remote, hearings for budgets and stuff. And but yeah, they're a fantastic team. They're both very passionate and driven, both strong, independent leaders, and are just phenomenal. I mean, they're here to really not be what I love about our team is that we're not here to be the voice of students. We're here to use our privilege as elected officers for students to amplify their own voices. I think that's what, really brings us together as a team. We recognize that we do have, a great privilege, and, we occupy very important seats and spaces and chairs at tables on campus. But what can we do to bring more people to these tables? People that, aren't necessarily us. We don't necessarily need to be the voice of reason and constantly hold the microphone. But sometimes it's kind of like recognizing, we're not good at something, craving that opportunity for someone else. But I really enjoy working with them, and it's going to be a fantastic year. And we're all very excited. We're a month in, and we're excited to see where this journey takes the three of us.
Well, that's fantastic. I I can certainly confirm that it's not only your two deputies, but all three of you who are inspiring and exciting, and we're all looking forward to working with you and indeed all the students who you have the privilege of representing. I would say that my days are usually filled with meetings, and often difficult ones, but on the rare occasions when I'm lucky enough to meet with any student from this university, I usually come away happy and excited and delighted that I can see for myself how good the beach is. And that's not to say we don't make mistakes, which we want to correct, or do things wrongly, which we would like to learn how to do better. But I think overall, our students are our best feature. And so I'm looking forward to working with you and anyone else in the next year to make it as good as it can be. And really just want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us and to share your message of hope and hard work with the students and everyone else who's watching. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the summer to rest and relax a bit. I hope you're doing a bit of that too.
Yeah, so I'm taking the summer class currently, and I just finished.
Which one?
I am taking my final GE class, which is Counseling 360, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so just a writing intensive course. So, getting all those fun essays out of the way. But usually what I've been trying to do, just hang out at home, spend more time with family, which is something I usually don't get to do during the school year. So that's been really fun and nice.
Okay, good.
Now that we're allowed to be a little bit more socially distant, being able to go run more errands and, go on like little walks at the beach here and there. So I really enjoy the beach, partly why I chose Long Beach.
Okay.
And yeah, just really trying to, get back physically fit, going to run at a local park, again, staying socially distant. I'm trying to get back in the hang of things while staying safe. But yeah.
Terrific. Oh, good. That's excellent. And your family, do you have siblings or?
Yeah, so I have a younger sister who just turned 14 2 weeks ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
So, yeah, thank you. She's growing. She is probably going to be my boss one day.
Okay, well, she's going to be at the beach in 4 years, we hope.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
She'll tell you she wants her bachelor's and wants a master's in business already. So
okay, great. We've got a place for her waiting.
Yeah, and then my parents they're doing well. So proud of them. My father's a landscaper, so he's out there, working socially distant.
Yeah.
And my mother has been at home, but just very honored and glad I get to spend time with them. I've missed them.
Terrific. Yeah, it is nice. It's we have to sort of take our opportunities where we find them, and that's great to hear. Well, give your parents and your sister my best regards. I hope you all stay healthy and well. And Omar, it is a real honor and joy to welcome you to the presidency of the ASI. I know you'll make a great president, and really look forward to working with you and making the beach just that little bit better, more powerful, stronger, more united as we move forward into what is always the unknown future, but perhaps a particularly difficult one this year. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Provost. Super excited, and we're here to keep our students first. And thank you for you and your team for all your leadership and this partnership in serving our school.
We are delighted to be of service. So